Hey guys, today I am going to give you my story of when I worked at Wendy's. My first job actually was Wendy's, and I really loved it. I made really good friends. It really taught me how to get into the multitasking. It taught me how to deal with cash registers. I mean, it taught me everything. And it got me out of my shell because probably none of you know this about me, but I actually spent a good portion of my teen years living in my house. And when I say good portion, I mean like 6 years. So this was like, this actually wasn't my first job, to be honest, but it was my first job into the real world. I had ended up getting into the job force, and then the job force had set me up with like a kids counselor job, but unfortunately that boss couldn't provide us with a paycheck, and so I was like, ooh, no money. So most of us actually ended up leaving, and at the time I had went ahead and just applied for stuff because we kind of already knew that this was going to be the issue, and I ended up getting an interview. So I was like, all right, let's do it. I absolutely loved working at Wendy's. You know, a lot of people criticize kind of how things are made, if they're really made fresh, and they actually are. All of the salads are done fresh every morning. The lettuce are chopped, the tomatoes, they're all made and packed that morning, and all of the beef is never frozen. It's all in the fridge. The only thing that's really in the freezer would be things like the stuff for the chili. I think that's about it, to be honest, and just fries, and that's about it. The buns are actually put in a cute little microwave, and they're just toasted, or I should say they're warmed, and then we put them through a toaster before we add on the mayonnaise and things like that. It was great. However, I only lasted 6 months there because the manager that I had was probably one of the worst managers I think I've ever had. He was Asian. He kind of ran the store like it was a Chinese shop. And when I mean Chinese shop, I mean, you go to go buy Chinese food, and everybody in the back is yelling and talking and real fast, and that's kind of more or less the mentality that he was on. And don't get me wrong, I think for fast food it's a good mentality, but he was just very rude, and he yelled a lot at the employees, and he just kind of made every little mistake or every little thing seem like a huge detriment to his day, or like a huge detriment to the team. And me, little Rebecca, who had just, trucked out of her house, I was just filled with so much anxiety and nervousness, and he just wasn't the right thing that I needed. And him making the big deals that he did and yelling made it worse for me to really be comfortable, and I actually messed up more. There were literally times where I would go get a bag of fries, and the freaking fry bag literally broke. So sometimes, when the ice, when you keep continuously opening up the door, sometimes the ice will melt and it'll turn into like a little wet bath on the bottom. And unfortunately, some of the fry bags that are sitting there will tend to get wet and dewy, and so when you take them out, some of them actually give way. They're wooden bags. They're like almost like paper bags. They look like paper bags. So some of them would actually give way, and the entire container of the entire container of fries would spill out on the floor. And so one, yeah, I get it. I just destroyed a bunch of product. But two, it wasn't my fault. Like, I literally grabbed it, and it's just one motion. It's grabbing the bag, tearing it open, and whew, it spilled on me. And this happened more than like once. So that's why I was like, I swear to God, I'm cursed. And he would just lose his freaking marbles, and just yell at me on the floor. Customers are like, our employees are like, and I'm just like holding the empty bag, like shaking it, for a fucking fry bag. It was so, and he was just so hard to talk to. Every little problem that I had, every little issue I had, I could not come up to him because he was just so he ended up getting a new assistant manager who was a woman, and she was pretty cool for the most part, but she was also one of those hard asses, like those no nonsense kind of girls. And she was also she was kind of easy to talk to, but kind of not. Like, it was weird. I also do want to point out that the mentality in that store was not great. You know, drama, rumors, a lot of people messing around with employees. So it was a very chillaxed environment, not very strict. And so this hard ass comes in, and she was kind of along the same speed as he was, where she was just like very like all over the place. And I had been working doubles for, I don't even know how long. It had been a long time because we were trying to actively find people. A lot of people left and I stepped up. So I was pretty stressed. I was exhausted, and I couldn't take the constant berating or battering, I should say, because then it got to a point where she was just on my back all the time and I could not. And then he was on my back all the time. And it just got to a point where I just And so I remember he was doing interviews that day, and he was off the floor. He was in the lobby. She was on the floor. And I'm trying to remember. I don't know what set me off, but something happened. I was working a double that day. Something happened. Someone pissed me off. I think it was her, actually. She said something. I think she like told me to hurry up, and that was her thing. She kept telling me to hurry up. I'm not moving fast enough. And I was done because I was literally moving as fast as I possibly humanly could. And for someone to just keep telling you move faster, and not really like treating you like a person and asking you, you know what I mean? Just not working with you, not supporting you. Just hurry up, move faster. You're not moving fast enough. Hurry up, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just couldn't. So I was like, I need you to not. I was like, I need you to stop. Please stop telling me to go fast. I'm going as fast as I can. And I'm pretty sure she said, well, it's not fast enough or something like that. And I was like, you know what? I walked off the floor, and I remember telling her, I need to go talk to Dustin. I'm done. I can't handle this anymore. And she was just like, what do you mean you're done? And I was like, I'm done. Like, I quit. And she's just like, you're going to quit right now in the middle of a rush? And I'm working she was like, and you're working a double? I'm like, yeah. Because I've been working doubles. I've been busting my ass off. I have been doing the best that I can. And you keep yelling at me. You keep, unappreciating me. And I'm not going to keep sitting here and taking it. And she's like, wow. Okay. And I was like, what do you want? You did this to yourself. You kept pushing me. Like, how much more do you expect a person to take? Like, how much abuse? And she's like, all right, well, let Dustin know. And she just walked away from me. And I was like, okay. So I walked over to him and literally couldn't even talk to him. He was in the process of walking, like, to go to the back. And I was walking from the back to the front. And, we passed each other. And I was like, hey, I need to talk to you. And he just literally walked. And I was like, and he's like, no, we talk later. And I said, no, I need to talk to you now. Like, this is important. No, we talk later. I'm like, okay, so you don't even have time to, okay, that's fine. And I grabbed all my stuff. I said goodbye to my best friend at the time. She was like, you really leaving? And I was like, yeah, like, I'm done. Like, I was like, I'm really done. Like, I said, I can't even get them both to listen to me, to talk to me like a human. She wants to keep talking to me like I'm an animal. He won't even give me the time of day to listen to me. I'm done. And I, of course, couldn't go anywhere because at the time I didn't have a car. I didn't learn how to drive yet. So I just literally sat outside the Wendy's crying. And I called my boyfriend at the time. And I was just like, I quit my job. And he's just like, quit? I'm like, yeah, like, quit. Like, I'm done. He's like, okay, why? And so I told him why, and he was just like, all right, well, I mean, you'll find something better, being supportive. And then I called my mom's boyfriend, and he came and got me, and that was the last of it. And to be honest, I probably stepped in a Wendy's once after that. I haven't been back to Wendy's in years. I've only stepped in one Wendy's, and it was a horrible experience because Wendy's only tastes good if you make it. And for the people who work at Wendy's, you know what I mean. When everything is fried fresh, and you just make it yourself. That's the only way you're going to get good Wendy's food. But the way that it's made now, there's just a lack of care. There's just lack of care that's just kind of swept through every franchise, because a lot of them are franchised. It's just kind of transcended. And so I don't know if it's any better now. Looking at the people who run it, I don't think so. Because honestly, it just, like I said, there's that lack of care that you get. It's like a tip. Wendy's has become like typical fast food. What you expect when you think of fast food, which is attitudes, not great food, not good customer service. That's kind of what Wendy's has become. And it's a very big shame because when I came into Wendy's, it was a very special thing because I got to learn about the company, what started the company, Dave Thomas, and what he did, and how he was an orphan, and he went ahead and made the Dave Thomas Foundation, which was to help orphans find, I believe it's to help orphans either transition or it gives them the things that they need as well with being orphans. But basically it's for the service of orphans. And, he named it after his daughter, Wendy. And so it's a very deep rooted story. And there's just, it's a great company story, but unfortunately, it's just not something that when we think of amazing customer service or amazing fast food, we don't think of Wendy's. And so that's a shame. But I mean, it could totally be different in your area. However, the area I'm in, state of Florida, it's just not great. And it's a shame because, like I said, the food is great. I could mess up some Wendy's food, And so, yeah, it's a shame. But I really enjoyed my time working there. I think if I had a better manager, I would have definitely stayed longer. And as with most jobs, it's the manager who makes or breaks you. And unfortunately for me, I was really young and I just couldn't deal with it. And when I say deal with it, I mean, you shouldn't sit there and be abused. If you feel like your manager is abusing you, yelling at you, not coaching you the right way, just making you feel like anything less, that's not something you should sit and hack. That's not something you should just deal with and hope that it gets better. Like, no. That's something you should, one, tell your HR about, two, let your manager know that you are not okay with their behavior. Reach out to your district manager if they choose not to change their behavior and just see where it goes from there. And if things don't change, then there's plenty of jobs. You can go find another job. It's not that serious. Don't ever feel like you're stuck. Because for me, a lot of times in different jobs that I worked at, I felt stuck because I just didn't know where I was going to go. But that's stupid because there's so many places you can go, especially in the world of fast food. There is always a fast food joint that you can go to. So anyways, I'm going to wrap up the story. But yeah, if you have ever worked for Wendy's or if you currently work for Wendy's, how do you like the company? Or if you left, what were the reasons that you left? I would love to hear your stories. I will go ahead and leave my email down below in the description box so that you guys can either email me your stories or if you want to leave a little small comment down below and let me know what your experiences was like. I would love that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.